Welcome to this guided walkthrough of Flex Studio Research Edition. I'll begin by resetting the app to the initial state every study participant was greeted with. To do this, I open the debug menu on the top right and select Restore Cozy Campfire and Plumber Static. The database has now been reset, and upon opening the app, we're greeted with both reference drawings without any responsivity info. So if I go back into Cozy Campfire and open the Responsivity tool, as you can see, nothing is adaptive. Cool, but let's demo how the tools actually work by creating a new drawing. To do that, I'll press New Panel and open the editor. As you can see, by default, a new layer has been created for you and you're presented with this system user interface for pens. I can now select, for example, a thick black pen and draw a person in the foreground. To instantiate a new object, I'll press the plus button, create a new layer, select this layer, and maybe choose a text marker, because this one is supposed to be a sun. I'll again use my pencil to draw the sun with its rays. Beautiful, isn't it? As you can see, on the left-hand side, the bounding box of the drawing is being determined and we have automatically generated thumbnail images for it. And now let's add a finishing touch, namely a tree. To do this, I'll select again the pen tool, select a custom color, and draw this tree. Beautiful, isn't it? If I want to rearrange layers, I can do so easily by holding and just dragging them to a different position. And if you look very carefully at the intersection of the tree and the sun rays, you can see that as I change their relative position, the overlap also changes. Cool! But now if I press this icon, again nothing moves. This is where our responsivity interface comes to play. Press the lasso and star icon to reveal it. And right now you can see that we're in the indirect interface variant. We can now, for example, select the sun and choose to pin it to the top right corner, so it always stays there, no matter the aspect ratio. The person I want to be at the bottom of the image, but they don't have to necessarily always be absolutely pinned to the right side. So what I'll do is I'll select the bottom center pin, so that it will keep its proportional position in the horizontal dimension, but be bottom aligned in the vertical dimension. So this yields this result. Wonderful. Last but not least, the tree. I think it can be centered somehow in the middle, keep its proportional position in all dimensions, so I'll just select this pin. And boom, there you have it. A beautifully responsive cartoon. This was interface variant A. But now let's look at the direct variant. We again can use this debug menu to switch to the direct variant. And as you can see, for every layer, a keyframe at the 1:1 aspect ratio has been pre-created. Now if we resize the canvas again, nothing happens because we have reset the entire view hierarchy. What we can now do though is resize the canvas, take a finger and drag the object to its desired position at this aspect ratio. As you can see on the bottom right, a keyframe was automatically set. We can see this because the keyframe button has turned yellow and because the timeline now has a keyframe where our cursor is, namely at the red marker. And now, as we resize the view, you can see that the sun's position is being perfectly interpolated. And as we have mentioned in our presentation, of course, this direct keyframe-based variant is way more expressive than the indirect variant. To demo this, let's get very artistic with the tree. When it is a bit wider, I want the tree to be here. When it is very wide, I actually kind of want it to be more in the top. So now I have 3 keyframes, and as I resize the view, you can see that the tree moves exactly as I wanted it to. Now the person, when I do this, I kind of want the person to be on the bottom right, but when it's very wide, I want them to be the center of our panel. Isn't this beautiful? And now let's also move the sun up here, the tree here. I accidentally tapped the hide button. As you can see, we also have layer visibility control on the left side. Yes. I think you can imagine how expressive this is. And now for the last feature specific to Research Edition, namely the test mode in our debug menu. What we did is we reset the app for every participant and told them to replicate a given reference using these tools. And we recorded many things like touch events, how long they took to perform the entire action, and erroneous inputs. More on that in our presentation or in our paper. But what we basically did is we used the debug menu to press run test, and as you can see, the interface has changed. We instructed participants to press begin task when they were ready to begin. They would press this button, start doing the work, making everything responsive, and once they were ready, press finish task. And in our console logs, we could retrieve a lot of useful information that made the analysis very easy. So this is Flex Studio Research Edition. For more information, feel free to read our paper, watch the presentation. Thank you, and see you next time.